Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Digital Mittelstand. My name is Can and I help small and medium businesses, so Mittelstand, to overcome their digital transformation challenges. Today, I will talk about digital transformation use cases for Mittelstand and give you some concrete examples. There are 3 videos in this series and this is part 2. If you have missed the first part where I talked about why Mittelstand is important, you can watch the video over the link here. And in the next video, I will talk about what are the main pillars of digital transformation and how do we apply this to Mittelstand. But before giving you any theory, I wanted to take you through the practice first and then we'll walk you through the theory in the third series of the video. Without any further ado, let's move into the use cases that we use in our clients. Today, I will give you 3 use cases where we see most in our clients. And first things first, sometimes those little things can be taken into granted, like doing things on paper and doing them digitally. But let's start with that. Everything you can do on paper, you can do digitally. And it's easier said than done. And as I said, that's generally taken into granted. Even in big corporations, we see a lot of efforts like still on paper, printing out documents, signing documents manually, and scanning them, creating another digital copy of the same digital document. And this seems like normal. However, we would like to digitalize all of our processes in a way that we can monitor, track, and retrospectively make the use of all historical data. Having said that, let's get back to eliminating paperwork. Eliminating paperwork will not only reduce the errors, but also give transparency to our operations. Therefore, we can track and monitor them easily. Needless to say, that will significantly save time, therefore save costs. Let's take a meeting, for example. There will be meeting notes taken, hopefully digitally, but highly likely those meeting notes will be distributed among the company through an email or series of emails. Then there will be tasks in these meeting minutes where we either have to create an extra effort in another software or they won't be created in a way that we can track the status of the tasks assigned during the meeting. In one of our clients, we have designed a meeting process that directly in the meeting where our client makes the meeting minutes, at the same time, she can create tasks to assign people, and even before leaving the meeting, the assignees can receive the tasks from their mobile apps. Therefore, it doesn't only ease the pain of assigning tasks and explaining them to assignees, but also it eases the burden of tracking the status, tracking the progress, which tasks are completed, which tasks are still remaining from the previous meetings, or which tasks are overdue. So this, what we have applied in one of our clients, saved them a lot of time, money, and needless to say, unnecessary paperwork. Of course, we have integrated with the information security management system, which is GDPR compliant, and we were able to do this with the combination of eFlow and Nextcloud, so our client can also track the version history of the documents. Our second use case is about eliminating manual work. Think of documenting your processes. When you document your processes digitally, you have a good possibility to map out what is necessary, what can be eliminated, which tasks are repetitive, which tasks are done manually, which tasks might save time, or which tasks can be automated. So, yes, a lot of things can be automated, but as I always say, first optimize, then automate. Therefore, first, we need to sit and analyze those points that I have just mentioned and see what could be eliminated and what could be maybe reduced or what could be automated. Only then you can choose technologies like process automation. There is the hype of intelligent automation, robotic process automation. But at the end of the day, unless you are very sure about your goal and you eliminated all the bottlenecks, then it makes sense to automate some part of your processes or the whole process. I have experienced a business case. A tier 2 automotive supplier were receiving their orders from the automotive producer in legacy system. But unfortunately, they cannot fetch the data from that legacy system. So there was a responsible employee whose responsibility is to read the order and print it out, type that order to Excel, and then only from this Excel, this goes to the production planning and the ERP system. However, there was the second employee involved, and his duty was to check the first employee whether he made a mistake. As you might imagine, this could be easily eliminated. And at the end of the day, our aim is not to get rid of these employees, but to provide them meaningful work so that they can actually create value for the company, while the process automation can do such simple things like getting or fetching data from legacy systems or any third-party systems that are able to communicate and inputting or writing this data to somewhere else. Actually, it doesn't matter. This again could be done by robotic process automation or process suites, but I am not talking about the technology. I'm talking about with an easy integration, we were able to eliminate these manual work, which in turn reduced the errors to zero and saved a lot of time and money as usual. Third use case is last but not least that I will talk about today. Of course, there are many other use cases, but for the sake of clarity, I will just reduce them to 3. And it's enhancing customer experiences and predictive analysis. This might sound complicated, but it's not at all. Actually, in one of our previous episodes, I have talked with Sarah Berger about how they have implemented a tool for their suppliers in Hansgrohe. You can find the link to the episode here. And this is very similar to what we have talked there. The highlight is with a small touch and of course a technological app or environment can enhance the customer experience significantly, therefore increasing the customer satisfaction and your value chain satisfaction with the partners involved in similar applications. Coming to my own experience, there are possibilities to integrate predictive analysis to historical data where, while we were doing the maintenance for buildings, the historical data that we have done so far is already there. By integrating an AI-based solution, actually the system can predict what might go wrong with the given circumstances and according to historical data so that it can predict what will happen. Let me give you a concrete example. So for a single air conditioning unit, if the electrical consumption goes high and or the consumption from the spare parts like the bearings are extremely higher, that might indicate torn belt, for example. So if the system is able to analyze the historical data, the system will see that something extraordinary is going on and will warn me even before the real problem is there, so that we were able to go there in place and see what's the problem causing this high electrical consumption or extra usage or extra demand of the spare parts and see that the belt has torn. So we could replace the belt easily so that our problem has been solved even before the customer faces it. So if that would not be the case, then there will be a breakdown of the unit. So the customer will feel dissatisfaction from that unit is not functioning properly. I am not going into very details, but I think you were able to get my point. By doing predictive analysis, we can prevent problems even before they happen, which is very valid for the automotive industry, for example, for engineering, for example. But as I said, this is just one example to 1,000 other possible scenarios. Yeah, this was for today. I gave you 3 concrete use cases for digital transformation in Mittelstand without going very deep in the technology side. But if you have any comments or questions about the examples that I gave, please feel free to reach out to me. Also, if there is any processes that you want us to optimize, please reach us at 360dt.de, or you see my email address here. And thank you for listening. Ciao.